Hello, welcome to Soccer Yanks, a Soccer News Day podcast. I am your host, Dave.
And I am Dan, and we are here today to bring you the beautiful game from the American perspective, or at least we're going to give it our best shot.
You went with your best shot. I'm not going to say hit me because that was not contextual.
No. But someone took a gut shot this week.
Oh, God. That's terrible.
It's what an epic Premier League final we're getting.
What a weekend.
The weekend, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There was a couple of matches this week, during the week. But where do we want to take it from? Or do we want to just go right to the resolution? We want to go right to episode 6.
When Liverpool was drawn and quartered before our very eyes in the span of 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was 11 minutes, and that's a good spot. Let's start from there. I wanted to title this podcast just "Holy Shit." What happened?
That was a disaster.
What happened?
You really can't explain it.
Well, you can a little bit. They were pushing to get more. You know, the one thing that bothers me. Okay, they were pressing. They wanted to get some more goals in. After the first goal, wouldn't you expect Brendan Rodgers to say, "All right, boys, the goal differential now. We're already at back a goal. Let's just seal it up, get 3 points. We have one more week."
Yeah.
I think that's what you would expect. I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened.
So do you think in some weird backwards way, if City go on to win, it'll still be down to goal differentials that got him there?
Kind of. Well,
if it pans out that way?
Well, no, City would have to draw.
No, but I'm saying that
their
reasoning...
The goal differential was ultimately the factor that caused them to play the way they did,
which
that ended to capitulation and just lots of tears.
That was bad.
Lots of tears.
I never seen... when I looked, I saw him pushing away the camera. I thought it was like, oh, no, he was genuinely crying. It wasn't being dramatic.
No, he was devastated.
He was torn
Suarez was devastated. Now, I don't want to open up old wounds, but mental strength, defense. Those are the two things I think that ultimately have put Liverpool in the situation that they're in right now. The situation where they need City to draw. No, they need City to do more than draw. They need City to lose. City has to lose at the final game for Liverpool to win the title. A City draw, and a Liverpool win. Liverpool has to win as well. Excuse me. That's also very important. A draw gets you put right back in that same goal differential situation. You lose. So, if this goal differential was smaller, if they had not let up what many would say very soft goals throughout the season to lower half table teams, would they be in the same spot?
Well, I guess it's a they lived full throttle all season long.
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Live by the blitz, die by the blitz. There's so many different euphemisms you can go by, but yeah, if you leave yourself exposed for that long, something's going to happen.
It's just hard to. It's
It
hard.
worked for them though. That's the
no.
thing.
That's yes.
You can't argue.
That's why I'm saying it's
hard. They're in
hard.
first place because of it, and you know.
And those games where they let up a lot of goals, a lot of them they still won.
We can't talk like they lost though. There's still another game.
No, I know.
That's the true measure of a championship. To go from your lowest low and still be able to pull it off when you need to, and win. So maybe they have another day to redeem themselves and potentially give a bunch of Merseysiders some sleep.
Now let's just put it in perspective a bit.
Except maybe wanting to put themselves to sleep forever.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of folks from the blue side of Merseyside that could care less. Actually, they're pretty happy right now.
A lot better prospects.
Right. Let's just put it in perspective.
For the first time, I know what it feels like to be an Everton fan. Happy to see Moyes go.
Oh man.
just to touch on that comment that I just made, it's hard because I really did want to give him a chance to support it, and now in hindsight, you could see, how terrible it was. But in the moment, I didn't want to fall into that modern.
You're a supporter. You're trying to support your team. You're trying not to be pessimistic.
Yeah, it's just too easy to jump in the negative train, especially this season. There was a lot of material to do it with.
There was. There still is. It's not over yet. But so just to put Liverpool in perspective, last year they finished the league in 7th place with 61 points. They are at 81 points today, and they still have a game in hand. They still have a game to play. They could potentially finish with 84 points. That's a 24-point increase, or 23-point increase, over where they were this point last season. Now, if any, there is of course an overwhelming feeling of disappointment if Liverpool doesn't win this title, and maybe for some people this was the year. This is the year where United was teetering. Arsenal, shot themselves in the foot. City was, had a period there where City was not that great. Chelsea became very defensive. The iron was hot. The time to strike was there. So some people were going to look at this was their window to win it. However, if they're in a position to succeed. They now look attractive to players that want to come in. They've got European football. They improved dramatically. They have a manager that looks to be one of the hot commodity in the league that's playing attractive, attacking football. And if you look at them from last summer, where they were struggling with, are we going to keep our star striker? He doesn't want to be in Liverpool anymore. Doesn't want to be in the Premier League. You put all that in context, and you go, Liverpool can sleep well, even if they don't win the title. It's going to be a little disappointing, but they could swallow that down during the summer and then come back next season and heads high, ready to compete again, ready to be right back in it. So I think overall, you can't really be too upset with where Liverpool is. I mean, this is classic moving the goalposts mid-season. The goal originally was to get top 4, and when you start feeling like you're going to win the title, all of a sudden now the goal goes from, well, I don't want to just be in top 4. I would have taken top 4 6 months ago, but now I want to win it, and I need to win it.
The being attractive to any superstar you want now is huge, because if you get a bad attitude or somebody who's not working in the system, say, okay, see ya.
It's easier to ship somebody off or bring somebody in when there's people clamoring to be on your squad.
Yeah, and if you're constantly in competition, it's easy to invite people to the party.
Right. I mean, I think
Especially
this is
a rager.
I think Liverpool is the case study for a lot of teams. Well, not a lot of teams. Is the case study that teams like Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United look at and go, "Oh no, we don't ever want to fall out of the top 4 because it could take a while to get back." And I'm sure United is facing that same dilemma. The people there are going, "All right, we need to get back immediately, or else it's going to snowball."
But I think Liverpool, they have a lot of youth. And I think that young core is going to sustain them for a while, especially the experience that they're getting right now.
No, I agree. But what I was getting at is how long it's taken them to get back to where they were.
Oh, yeah.
Falling from grace. Like, that's the case study. Like, this is what happens when you fall from grace. You potentially go several years struggling.
Well, they had bad ownership for a while. The managers back and forth. The stability that they have now is
it helps.
Yeah.
Not stop changing managers like underwear. Stop spending how much for Carroll?
Torres?
Well, they
sold him. They made their Carroll money back. They sold him at the right time.
I mean, I think in perspective, I think in the big picture, Liverpool the supporters should be happy.
Oh yeah,
they shouldn't be elated, but they should be
from where they were 3 years ago.
Exactly.
Their trajectory is very positive.
Exactly. Now, I mean, do you want to talk about who do you think is going to win this thing?
I still think it's going to be Liverpool.
So you think City is going to they're going to lose this weekend? They got West Ham, I believe. Is that where you're going? You're going
I
that
think the football gods might do something crazy on the last day.
They have West Ham at home.
No, damn it.
They have West Ham at home. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I just wanted something fun to happen the last day.
I mean, for Liverpool,
you remember what the last day was like 2 years ago? I remember vividly.
Yeah, well, City QPR, yes.
Nobody thought any of that stuff was going to happen. Could be crazy.
That's true.
You never know. The EPL is a fun thing. I hope that happens. All likelihood, West Ham's going to get destroyed. But
so let me ask you, from a supporter standpoint, and we all have rivals, we all have clubs that we have pet peeves about. I guess I get the feeling that you dislike Liverpool less than you dislike City.
yeah.
Is it because of the Manchester? It's the direct rival.
No, it's the legacy.
Yeah, but
I first of all, my association with the ownership of Liverpool. My what's good for Liverpool is good for the Red Sox. I'm a Red Sox fan. For any listeners who don't know, it's good for the organization. Also, I think Liverpool fans deserve it more.
well,
As a supporter, I'm thinking of this because, to be honest with you, I like City fans better when they were Chelsea fans. They were quieter.
well, but actually, that's the point that I'm gonna make. Like, there's not much to dislike about City. They've always been in your shadow. They've always been the little brother. They've always been. I mean, they had an era. They had an era before we were even ideas in our parents' head that they were good.
The other side of it for me is the oil money part of it. I don't like that part of the game that it's becoming. I know I can't argue with you. You can't really hold a negative argument about that.
No, I don't really. I'm just starting to feel. I'm starting to feel less. I'm starting to feel less strongly about that because I feel like it's inevitable.
Yeah, but the way that they act and are getting away with the financial fair play things, I just don't think they deserve it. They're getting a slap on the wrist.
I understand. What you're saying is, even though Liverpool have been a bitter rival of United's, and Scouse and Mancunians don't. Is that the correct term? Munchkins? Monks?
Manuchians.
There is a severe animosity there. You'd almost say, like, well, at least they're a worthy adversary.
Exactly.
They're
respect.
It's a respect. Like, all right, we're going to go down to another gladiator. I'm not going to go down to his squire.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a logical. I get that.
Like the Liverpool team that's here now and is contending for the championship is Liverpool. They're their players. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
there's City players that have been developed through City, but most of the majority of those players have been brought in.
Those are soft arguments.
To me, it matters to me. I like youth players that are developed within a system that come up through a team.
But United doesn't have that many of those anymore.
That's what I want. That's what the problem is.
I understand that you okay.
That's why that's this downward trajectory they've had for the last 5 years.
I mean, the best players you guys had in the last 10 years have not been United products.
I agree. Van Nistelrooy, Ronaldo was brought in from Sporting, but his development definitely happened in.
I personally don't believe that an 18-year-old is developed at a club. He's already a star.
His talent was there,
right?
He was honed and trained.
But he
the
did,
United way.
He wasn't a Red Devil growing up.
No,
right.
That's
what I'm saying.
Madeira,
whatever.
I could say
the dirty.
You have the accent.
Yeah, but I say everything wrong anyway. I want to say the dirty word that it sounds like, but it's not.
No, but
these are all legitimate reasons, but I just don't. I find it like for me, if I guess like Arsenal, like if Spurs was going to win the title, there's no way I'd root for Chelsea over Spurs winning the title ever, and it's just. And I get that's like City over the last couple of years have kind of moved in and become a bigger rival, but I feel like the real United rival is Liverpool.
Oh, historically, absolutely.
Yeah, like I just feel like that there's so much more of a real rivalry, and I all the points you made make complete sense, and I get it. It's a class organization that you'd rather lose to, or rather have them get the title versus City. But some of the other nuances, I don't know. I would feel like so much more compelled to say. No, let the little brother have it. At least it stays in Manchester. Yeah. In that case. But
fair enough.
I hear where you're coming from. So I'm going to say that I believe City's going to win it.
Now that they're in the driver's seat and they're playing West Ham.
And they're all healthy. They all got back. But like you said, anything can happen. I just do believe that City is,
I think Torre is going to do something
you know
crazy.
what? You know what's kind of
like a hat trick.
You know what's kind of funny when you look at the top three. Well, we're not even talking about Arsenal today. Top three. It seemed like City was the only one in the last couple of weeks that really wanted to win it.
They were turning it up.
Liverpool. Okay, I think Liverpool a few weeks ago, unfortunately, I think they started drinking the champagne a little too early. Yeah. I know that they talked about no, we got to win, but I think they celebrated a little too hard. And I'm not saying that they celebrated off the field too hard. I think that they almost felt like they've reached it when they didn't really reach it yet.
It wasn't done.
And I think that's where, figuratively and literally, they slipped up.
Gerrard pun.
Oh man, was it the Everton? No, it was the City. I think it was the City fans that were just
the heat map.
No, not even the heat map. They were. Oh, that was pretty funny too. But they were chanting, Steven Gerrard. He slipped on his effing arse. He passed it to Demba, Steven Gerrard, something like that. Oh man, relentless, really.
That'll be a crazy play. He'll probably never forget if they go on to lose. Moving on,
let's talk about
Giggs' potential final last home match as a manager and player.
Let me tell you, what a cheeky bastard!
That little move.
I'm the manager. It's Scholes or whoever the hell he. Oh, Nicky Butt, Nicky, you take over. Ref, I'm coming in.
It was great. I watched, and not even because I was really, really, really interested in the results. I wanted to see him sub himself on because when are any of us probably ever going to see that again? Ever?
I see it in my Sunday league every fucking week.
No, I mean on EPL.
No, I know.
That was probably maybe the last time a player manager.
The last time that probably happened, rampant alcoholism was probably raging through the Premier League.
I think Kenny Dalglish was the last player manager.
I think there was more. There was more recently, but
in the EPL in the top tier.
I don't want to speak. I don't want to speak out of turn. I don't know.
I couldn't correct you if I believe. Yeah.
I think someone had dropped a name I saw on Twitter, a name that I did not recognize somewhere in between that said, "Oh, this is the last guy to do that." But I felt like it was 15, 20 years
history.
ago. Yeah,
definitely history. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen a goal, but the assist was just as good. That was a nice finish on the right foot. But I do have to comment on the praising the new young boy got. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's the second coming right away." Too soon.
I mean, how about we just cleverly the kid right now?
God, you can't do that.
I think, okay, yes, very nice. You saw some youth out there. It was nice to see them come out. But what was either team playing for? Let's put this in context. I mean, the guy, okay, yeah, he won. He scored 2 goals. He looked pretty good. He had some good movement. But, okay, so United doesn't have to go out and buy another striker. They got Wilson. They're good. You know what I mean? Shouldn't he get loaned out or maybe or play his part as a squad player for a few years until he? I mean, the media over there just loves young British guys, and they really essentially the media crushes the youth,
smothers them. The lights are too bright and they get burnt out on that pale skin. I mean, it was
that
great.
wet, cold, pale skin.
I mean, all credit to him though. I mean, there weren't technically. I mean, the volley was very nice, but he was where he was supposed to be.
No, yeah, no.
He did what he was supposed to do. The movement and the youth movement again. Give the boys a chance.
Well, that's what Giggs was. He was preaching about at the end of the game on the mic. He's like, "We're a club that gives the youth a chance." I mean, I really think he was. I think he was speaking a little out of turn in the sense that I don't think youth had gotten much of a chance over the last few years. But I do think that, like you said, they're maybe shifting their focus back to Well, if you on the field that day, they had Yanazai, Wilson, and was it Lawrence in the midfield, partnering with Carrick?
Lawrence,
right? He was partnering next to Carrick, I believe. Was he on
kind of like a pivot almost?
Yeah. So I mean, okay, yeah, I could. you could start making a case that
And Yanozai was on the right.
that's what I said. Januzaj Wilson and Lawrence, they were the young guys out there.
And Valencia was in there too, kind of like almost like a left back, left middle.
I didn't watch the game.
Odd position. It was a weird position.
I didn't watch the game with super focus because I knew there was not much at stake, so I was kind of in and out of the game. I wanted to watch it for the Giggs thing, and I watched it. I wanted to hear the speeches at the end of the.
Yeah, it was nice. Nice sending off.
Let me tell you, has the Premier League turned into Downton Abbey? Terry was crying. Suarez was crying. Giggs was on the verge of tears.
He was choking up, yeah.
Vidic looked like he wanted to murder someone. It was like a novella.
Very well. Good close. Good close. No, it was great. Again, it was a bright spot on a dark season, that's for sure. But the other news, the Van Gaal hovering has also been the new fish and chip papers, at least for the last week. Besides, that's actually it.
That's it.
There's a lot of speculation about Giggs coming back. I think he is. I think he's going to stay as a manager.
You think as the manager?
Not as the manager, as a coach. Because I don't. That's why he's. He is where he is. He knows the players.
Well, the one talking point that everyone keeps bringing up is David Moyes got rid of all of the staff and brought in all his own guys. Giggs is a return. It's not a full return to Alex Ferguson and what he did, but it is at least
bridge.
I know what he used to do. I'm 20 years under that umbrella. I'm going to bring in my guys that are also part of that umbrella. I'm not going to bring in a whole new crew. So maybe he's not the guy, but maybe there's a stipulation that whoever comes in needs to keep some of these guys in place.
I think this is my theory. It's my tinfoil hat time. I think.
Time out. We haven't had one of those in a while.
I know.
Go on.
So, I think Van Gaal comes in.
Is it Van Gaal or Van Hal?
It's whatever he wants it to be.
Okay.
I think he's going to come in 3-4 years. He's going to develop a youth core, because I think that's where he goes. That's what he does. He sees young talent, he develops young talent, and he helps develop. I think Giggs stays on as a manager. I think Rene Mulestein comes back, fellow Dutchman, former SAF assistant, whatever. Mm-hmm. He left. He got the boot with Moyes. I think he comes back.
And he also got the boot at Fulham.
Fulham, because
I know it was a bad situation, but yes, go on.
Anybody would have got that. That's like walking into a wood chipper. And I think he comes back with Giggs. Neville, I think, is still going to stay, and so is Nicky Butt. And I think that's going to be the core of the new coaching staff. And whoever stays on after Van Gaal is a toss-up, but I think it's either going to be Mulestein or Giggs.
It's an interesting theory. I mean, that's viable. That's not too tinfoily.
Because I think Rene Mulestein is going to be that bridge. The Dutch, he's a countryman. Plus, he still knows the United way.
It's possible.
And on top of that, Mulestein knows how to deal with a coach with a big ego.
Does he? SAF?
I mean,
does he? Come on.
So yeah, I think that's my theory.
Like the humblest guy ever.
Soft spoken.
Yeah. If you consider a hairdryer soft spoken.
But where they go this off season?
Well, we got all summer to talk about that. The other end of the table is essentially, I mean, it's kind of solidified. It's cemented a bit. It is guaranteed that Cardiff is down. It is guaranteed that Fulham is down. They're gone.
Vincent Tan's riding that dragon back to the championship.
Yeah, there's a lot of jokes on Twitter today about. There's a lot of Vincent Tan jokes. I don't want to rehash them, but
that was pretty good.
Pencil mustache and all is on his way down. A big speculation that he's already in back home, wherever he's from. I forget.
It's Malaysia.
I think so, but I don't want to speak out of turn again. He's already said, I don't even know why I bought this team. So we'll see. I mean, that's a rumor. I mean, I don't know.
I'm switching from belt to suspenders.
Yes. What is that going to do? He's going to really chafe his nipples then.
You just like to smack.
The metal clasp will be right. Oh, but the metal clasp will be right over the nipple. Or is he like really classy?
He picked that up in
No,
Thailand.
he has them sewn in. He has the leather strap sewn into the pants.
Oh God.
So the only other spot open is Norwich. They're in the 18th hole. They got 33 points. Above them is West Brom. Now West Brom, let's see what the goal differential here is. West Brom's at negative 15. Norwich is at negative 32. I don't think. Is Norwich gone too? Am I doing my math wrong here? Is there something I'm not seeing? Oh yeah, of course. No, that's it. Norwich is gone, I think, as well. Wow, did I not prepare properly? I thought that they still had a chance because Arsenal could just sit and they could win the game. But I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it.
No drama on the last day for
The bottom.
Unfortunate. Those are actually usually the.
They're much funner. That's the QPR vs Man City matches
I watched the Derby game today,
from the championship.
or I should say the Leighton Orient game, right? Yeah, championship, not Leighton Orient.
Not Orient. Brighton.
Brighton. So, what the hell's wrong with me? Very entertaining. Anders Lingard, Loney from Man U scored. Very, very nice. Promising. Maybe coming back for the first team next year.
I thought he was a goalie.
Not Anders. It's Lingard. That's Lindergaard, the goalie.
Okay. No.
Lingard.
All of them. They're all the same to me.
Anywho, that was entertaining. I was looking for Will Hughes on Derby, but I think he was out. He wasn't playing. At least I didn't see him. That bright white hair. He looks like the
I know exactly who you're talking about.
the female knight from Game of Thrones,
Yep. I know exactly who you're talking
except
about.
4 foot tall, not
Like-
6'8".
Like a Malfoy.
Powder.
Well, he looks
With
like
hair.
the bad guy from
Yeah,
Harry
yeah,
Potter,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Little bit. So, who we got joining us in the Premier League next season? Right now, it's Leicester City,
Leinster.
and who was in second? Was it Forest?
Oh, you're putting me on it. You can't bring up topics like that.
I thought you brought it up. I thought you were prepared.
I said in the text message I'm probably not going to be prepared to talk about it.
Oh, I didn't see the not part. I just said I'll probably be prepared to talk about the championship. Well, while you're looking that up, I think that Vincent Tan is going to switch the team color to green.
Burnley.
That was Burnley.
Team.
Okay.
And then Derby, QPR, Wigan, and Brighton are all in the playoff.
I think QPR is in a position right now where the QPR is going to be slammed by financial fair play. The FA has their own financial fair play, and they are way out of regulation because of what they did when they were in the Premier League.
That last winter transfer last year.
If they don't get back into the Premier League, they are in serious, serious trouble. They're probably going to have a transfer ban. So then they're not going to be able to re-sign, or they're going to have to sell. Excuse me, they're going to have to sell these players that they can't afford, and then they're not going to be able to re-sign anyone. So they're going to have to bring in like academy players or something along those lines. It's going to be very, very ugly. I think QPR has a lot to play for. Although I would say that Wigan, how they've played in the FA Cup, really shows that they have the ability to push it. Although I think that the reason that they didn't make an automatic qualification is because they have not been consistent enough in the championship.
Well, Roberto Martinez had a lot to do with Wigan's success.
Well, they've been very tactically astute. I mean, at least in the FA Cup, they came out swinging. So we'll see. We're leading up to. I believe. I'm not sure. Is the final game of that playoff the same day as the Champions League final, or the same day as the FA Cup?
That's a good question.
I think it's the same day as the Champions League final. I believe it's in the morning. It's like at noon, and then after that is the Champions League final. So that's what they call, I believe, the most lucrative game in the world, because
Promotion from
the promotion is worth so much money.
the TV money.
Something like that. I guess
Believe it.
as a percentage at least.
I'll buy that.
You buy that?
Well, another big announcement that came out of the international footballing world.
Yeah,
how do you pronounce this word? The selection?
Oh, the selection.
Selection of?
I've always wanted to say that. The seleção.
Really, it's Somme. I was going
Seleção.
with cow. I was
Seleção.
saying cow to myself.
No, seleção.
More Portuguese.
There's an accent there. There's an accent there. Yes, the host nation Brazil. They said, "F you guys. I don't need any more time. Here's my official 23-man roster. Here you go." Filipon just laid it out on the table, and it's very, very. It's not identical to the Confederation Cup squad, but it's very similar. But there is something very notable on this squad. There is one, no previous World Cup winners. The last time they had no previous World Cup winners on the team was 1994. Oh. And then on top of that, there's a couple of big names that a lot of people thought they would at least make the squad. Notably, Kaká, Ronaldinho. Some people were making a case for Robinho, but I don't think he's been playing. No, see, the thing is that Filipão, Big Phil, I'm sorry, I don't know, not Scolari, everyone knows him by a different name. In Brazilians, they just call him Filipão, Big Phil. He doesn't.
Is everybody in Brazil like Will Smith?
Why is that?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Big Phil. No, sorry.
Oh, Big. No. That was like too many layers, too meta.
Yeah, that was way out there. I was reaching for that one. I mean, I know everybody in Brazil likes Disney. I don't know if they were that big of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air fans.
No, I don't think so. So, from his team selections, people have kind of come to the conclusion that he actually is less concerned about your form for your club and more concerned with your form when you do come and put on the shirt. And that's why you see a lot of these names, because these guys have played well. Well, that's why people are thinking that Robinho would have a shot, because the last few times he played for Brazil, he played very well. So they thought maybe he had earned his trust, but I don't think he was going to. He didn't crack it. The name that a lot of people in England, especially in Merseyside, are saying, "Hey, why is he not there?" Felipe Coutinho didn't make it, and also, I believe this man was on the FIFA Best 11 of the world. What's his name? From Atletico, Luis Felipe, left back, I believe, left back or something. Mm-hmm. And also Miranda, also defender for Atletico Madrid. Both didn't make the team. So some Europeans are a little up in arms. They also have that Euro snobbish. Well, they play here; they must be better than anyone else.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Very Brooklyn.
Very, very Brooklyn. It is very Brooklyn. Have you taken a look at the list? Have you seen the squad?
I did.
Any names stick out for you that maybe you think, hey, what the hell's going on here?
A couple of them like, oh, that's going to be fun. Like Hulk Smash. I think he's going to have a huge World Cup.
His form dipped a few months ago, but as of late, it looks like he's back. I don't particularly like Hulk, to be honest with you. No? But you can't. He adds something to the game.
That back line's going to be sick.
Oh, the
Thiago Silva, David Luiz, Marcelo, Dani Alves. Come on.
And then as a sub, you have
Enrique, Dante,
and Enrique. Yep, and Maicon, who is very experienced right back. Not necessarily spring chicken, but very experienced, and he's got that.
Moving forward, he's fantastic.
You remember that goal he scored against North Korea?
Thumper.
You know what I'm talking about, right? That where he's got like
streaming.
He's got like 2 feet from the end line.
It was insane. And the midfield's going to be tight. I think defensively, it sounds weird, but I think they're going to be better defensively than they. I mean, not better. I mean, I think I'm more confident with the names on their back six. Well, all the question marks on their front six. I guess that's the way I should put it.
I'll tell you what.
You don't know what it's going to be like.
If you look at this midfield, though, this midfield is prepared to play European giants.
Oh, yeah.
Fernandinho, Hernandez, Gustavo, Oscar, Paulinho, Ramirez, Willian. There's 5 guys that play in the Premier League right there. they're all used to getting
Physical.
slammed.
Yeah, they're going to be able to put up against your giant Bosnians.
And I know like you may not watch Hernans a lot. Hernans is a very good player in the midfield, and Luis Gustavo. Although I'm not happy with his move to Wolfsburg. I think that was a shit move on his part. He was a key player for the Confederations Cup. Him and Paulinho.
He didn't have a place in Munich though when Pep came in.
No, I understand, but I don't like his move to Wolfsburg. I think he could have gone to a better club.
Yeah. I got you.
Up front, I agree. Up front is where it looks a little.
The question marks are there.
What happens?
But I remember Joe in the Confederations Cup. I think he played pretty well.
I think he only made one appearance. Fred,
that's what I'm thinking.
Fred is the other one that's up there. I don't like either one of them. I do not trust them as being the lone strikers for this team.
Do you think Neymar's going to have too much pressure on him?
I think Neymar's going to have a lot of pressure on him, but I think the one beautiful thing about Brazil is that there are 11, including the goalie, 11 players that can score goals.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Cesar's going to score goals, but I just feel like I guess it's a very stereotypical thing or a boastful thing even for my part, but I just feel that Brazilian players are dangerous going forward. All of them are they're just...
Yeah, I mean, even
they can score goals. I don't think Neymar is going to be responsible for having to put all the balls in the goal.
I don't think that, but do you think that maybe his mental position might make it a 10-man team instead of an 11-man team? Like mentally, he'll
no. I think being that Barcelona has been a good warm up.
Yeah.
Winning the Confederations Cup for one.
It's a good pressure cooker to.
And I think going to Barcelona, being in Spain, getting the pressure, the scrutiny, especially this season. There's a lot of scrutiny on Barcelona.
Cameras.
The cameras, the media, the being next to Lionel Messi and all that nonsense, and I think that's only helped him. And the fact I think that he's had a quiet season, I think is even better because I think then you get a little bit of the, we know Neymar, it's okay, like we got him under control. So I mean, we've got World Cup fever is starting.
I do. I saw my tentative list. I'm very excited too. Do you want to go over that real quick?
What, German's tentative list?
Uh-huh.
I think there's only one question mark, really. Why are there no strikers?
They never really had any.
Well, I know, but they have like 19 midfielders.
That's the thing. That's what I'm worried about. I mean, I know they're pushing for closer to go for the all-time record. I think it's at 68 goals. 68 goals in the World Cup.
I didn't think he was going to play in this World Cup. I thought we were...
all-time Germany. I'm sorry, not all-time... Is it all-time World Cup or all-time Germany?
I think it's going to be all-time World Cup.
Yeah. Gerd Muller has the record now. No, Ronaldo has it. Ronaldo beat Muller.
Yes, Ronaldo... I think he's only one goal away.
Yeah.
I think he's very, very close. So I thought Ronaldo's record was going to stand because I didn't think he was going to get called up to another World Cup.
I think he's like 34. 1978 he was born.
1978?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
That's 36, no?
He's pretty old.
That's
36. Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to get called up to this World Cup, so I was like, oh, Ronaldo, the Phenom's got it.
The only other striker is Voland, who I'm born in 1992. He's plays for Hoffenheim. You can count for me. I count Podolski as a striker.
Oh, well, I think there's a lot of those midfielders that could be strikers.
Yeah, Schürrle, Royce can go up front. Khedira got the call, even though his knee is still on the mend. I think he's fully healed though. All the Draxlers and Benders are coming. There's like 4 of each.
Oh, Famille Draxler here.
But Boateng, Grooikreuts, Hoyds, Hummels, Lahm, Mertesacker. It's gonna be a very clinical and Neuer. I mean, arguably the greatest in the world right now. Goalie, sweeper.
Neuer?
Yeah.
I guess. I hate him. He's such a smug.
He's so good though.
Smug.
A real see you next Tuesday.
Yeah. He's a real Tuesday.
I got you.
He's a real Tuesday. Actually, that's what I'm going to just say that. Next time, instead of saying that, I'm just going to say Tuesday.
Tuesdays used to be good when you can go to the movies for free.
Or not free, or like at least a matinee, $5 movie.
No, the Optimum.
Oh, yeah.
Not anymore.
That's really local. We're getting local.
That's old school. Anyway.
All right, World Cup fever. We just touched on it. The rosters came out a little bit.
Yes, we got three and a half weeks.
I think it's 4.5
Ish. Whatever.
Today is the 8th.
No
it
big
starts
deal.
the 12th.
It's coming up. I'm excited. Wakes me up at night with excitement.
We've got two things to talk about the World Cup. Well, one thing that we can't talk about,
But we're going to tell you about to keep an eye about.
we've got some special we've got
Special coverage.
some special coverage, but we can't tell you anymore. That's it. That's all I can say. Keep an eye out. We got some stuff coming out World Cup specific only.
Leading up to the World Cup. Whoa, I did not mean for that to happen.
Okay.
We're going to run with it.
The other thing that we want to talk about is we have a lot, Dave and I, we have a lot of shared and also individual World Cup memories. And we like talking about them all the time. And the World Cup is coming around. We start reminiscing.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, go for it.
My theory is that it's the most watched event in the world. No argument. The World Cup is the most. That means potentially billions of people at this point in the population. So that means there are, by math, going to be billions of stories. And I know I've watched 4 or 5 World Cups in my lifetime that I can remember. And it's a month long. I grew up. My lifetime's been marked every 4 years. Every summer has been marked. I can tell you about the last one. We were in the hospital watching the third cup match when Dan's first baby was born. That's one World Cup memory.
She was born the day before the final.
It was pretty awesome.
Yep.
It was a cool experience. We were all taking turns going in and out of the room, and when we were all not in the room, we were all watching the World Cup. So what we are trying to start on Twitter or on Facebook is hashtag WC Memories. So if you got any quick, some memory you had, a moment you shared with somebody, you were huddled around a radio in the backseat of somebody's car.
What is this, 1935? Jesus.
You never know in the 80s. Or you were building the deck out in your backyard, or you're on the beach, whatever. Whatever it is, throw on the hashtag World Cup Memories. We want to start sharing the experiences that we've had, the positive experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. Today, I you tweeted one out about us in the hotel watching the third place match when my daughter was born, and then I tweeted out a really fond memory of mine. I was just a boy, but we were vacationing in Brazil. We were with my family, 1994. World Cup, of course, we go to Brazil when the World Cup's in the United States. That's my family right there, in a nutshell. Where am I going to be for the Brazil World Cup? In the United States. So I'm a boy. I'm with my cousins. We barbecued all day long. We've been eating food. We watched the final. There's a big screen. We're outdoors, right? It's like this big. I don't know how to explain it. We call it a galpón. It's kind of like an outdoor barbecue area.
Like a beer garden kind of thing, but open.
Kind of, right? Kind of like a picnic area, but it's covered and there's barbecue pit, whatever. So they got the big TV on, and we set up our own little goal outside. And it was actually made of there was a construction area right nearby. So we had taken a bunch of the bricks and stacked them up and made like a giant goal that we were shooting at all afternoon. So we were watching it came down to the PKs, and we'd watch the PKs, and we'd see we make one, and then we'd reenact that same exact PK right then and there, and it was a miss. All right, and then we redo, and then when Baggio missed it and we won, I don't know, I don't even have the ball. I think it was my cousin. He just punted the ball straight in the air, and Brazil went. I mean, literally, Brazil did not sleep for 2 days when I was there.
That's awesome.
It was it was nighttime. It was the evening. I think it maybe had been 10 o'clock at night, maybe 9 o'clock at night. And I just remember fireworks. I remember waking up the next morning and hearing fireworks going off at 8 a.m. still. And the fireworks kept going all the next day, and there was partying all the next day. It was an incredible moment. It's a World Cup moment I will never, ever forget. I'll bring it with me forever. I'll never forget that look on Baggio's face. It was incredible. It was incredible. And we want to share these. I mean, I want to hear your stories. I want to hear your World Cup stories. I mean, Obviously, Twitter, you only get 140 characters. Shoot us an email. We'll read them out loud if you want.
Yeah,
I'll read them out.
Absolutely. Post them to the Facebook page, whatever.
We want to hear from you guys.
Let's keep it going. And that's it for tonight. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Or follow Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Soccer Yanks on Facebook. I'm at Soccer Yank Dave.
I am at Soccer Yank Dan. And give us a +1 on Google.
Yeah.
We got a Google Plus page, but you can ignore that if you want. Like everyone else in the world is.
It's still around.
Facebook.com/SoccerYanks. SoccerYanks.com. That's it. SoccerYanks.com is the central hub. You find everything from there.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Thanks,
we'll
guys.
See you soon. Keep posted for the World Cup coverage.